Hey, what's going on guys, Bizkit Rebellion, and this is a follow-up video to my Q&A, just answering 3 more questions that I personally feel like they're important. So yeah, let's get started. The first question is, let me look at my computer real quick. When you get Legendary, this is DC Universe Online by the way, when you get Legendary, do you get all the DLCs? Yes, you actually do get all the DLCs. Though I will warn you, if, or at least once Legendary runs out, the DLCs are gone. So if, let's say you really wanted to get this DLC, but you didn't want to pay for it, if you still want to play the DLC, you're going to have to renew your Legendary membership. So yeah, I personally rather buy all the DLCs, so then that way I don't have anything missing once I don't have Legendary anymore. But that's just personally my opinion. If you, or whoever's viewing this, hasn't played any of the DLCs from DC Universe Online, buy Legendary. I think it's a good investment. Buy Legendary, try out the DLCs. If you don't like certain ones, then once Legendary runs out, you can just buy the ones that you actually want to buy, or actually want to play. While the other ones that you don't want to play, you don't have to buy them. But for me, if I want to get the whole experience of the game, I prefer buying all the DLCs. That's just me. For other people, it might be different, but yeah, you do get all the DLCs once you get Legendary, but once it goes away, the DLCs as well go away, so yeah. But if you didn't try the DLCs, buy Legendary. Hey, power to you, man. Go ahead, try them. If you like them, buy them. Or you can buy Legendary, so then that way you don't have to buy all of the DLCs, which I believe if you buy all the DLCs, that'll be like $70 or $80. So yeah, would you rather buy $20 a month or $80 at once? Actually, now that I think about it, I'd rather buy $80 at once instead of monthly, but that's just me. Anyway, next question. What's your expectations for DC in 2014 in terms of your favorite characters and company-wise? As for company, I hope they learn from their mistakes, because let's be honest, DC has made a lot of mistakes. Holy shit. In this, or at least the past year, since we're already in 2014, in the past year, they've made a lot of mistakes. I think Villains Month and Year Zero was literally the most pointless decision making they've ever made. Villains Month was waste of time and money, in my opinion, because they could have already incorporated that into the already established series. They don't have to make, oh, Two-Face #1, or Scarecrow #1, Bizarro #1, Luthor #1. I don't need any of that. Because to me, the way how I see it, they're just one-shots. Very, very minor one-shots. And all you're getting is their origins, which you can already incorporate that in the already established series. For example, Lex Luthor, Bizarro, Zod, who else was already in Villains Month? Shit. Lobo. Actually, I'm not sure about Lobo, but the other ones that I mentioned, you can put their origins in Action Comics or Superman, the comic book series. You don't need to have their own issue explaining that. That's just me. That's just me. I still think to this day Villains Month was a cash grab. So I personally think after all the mistakes they have made in the past year, they learn from it and not do it again. As for favorite characters, I want Beast Boy to make a comeback. I think after the events of Ravengers, he deserves a comeback. I'm not sure if I pronounced that right. I'm sorry. Is it Ravengers or Ravengers? Because I remember when I said Ravengers, not in any of my videos, but to friends of mine, they said that I was saying it right. And from what I hear from the people who comment on my videos, they're telling me that I'm saying it wrong. So is it Ravengers, or Ravengers? I know it sounds like I'm saying the word Raven and then Gers, even though there's no N. It's just that, I don't know, it confuses the shit out of me. So yeah, ever since the whole Ravengers arc, or comic book series and after it was cancellation, I think Beast Boy deserves a comeback. I don't know why Scott Liddell decided to have Beast Boy go away, especially with Bunker, since both of them just recently met and all of a sudden they became best friends to the point where Bunker's, I think, ex-boyfriend, not ex, but his boyfriend got up from a coma and he decided to go visit him, and Beast Boy also wanted to accompany him just to protect him. I don't see why he has to protect him. I'm putting the word protect on quotes because Bunker could pretty much take care of himself. He already has powers. He can take care of himself. I don't see why Beast Boy has to accompany him. But hey, it's whatever. It already happened anyway. But yeah, I do want Beast Boy to make a comeback. I'm very curious as well with Raven and where her subplot is going. I did hear from the past that DC wants to put Raven in her own series or a spin-off from Teen Titans where she makes her own team. Think of it as the new Teen Titans from the 1980s, but modern. I don't know how I'm saying the word, but basically the new Teen Titans in 2014. I'm not sure if that's going to happen in 2014, but if it is, I'm really curious on where that goes. It has been mentioned that she's going to bring in new members and a few members who were Teen Titans from the past. So there's a good chance that she might recruit Beast Boy, which I'm actually hoping she does, just because of a certain event that I want to happen again in the comics. But if that doesn't happen, I probably might be depressed. But I am interested to see where that goes. I'm also interested to see where Teen Titans goes, where Batman Eternal goes. What else? I'm trying to think here. I forgot what other comic books I also read. I can't believe that. Also, where Animal Man goes because I heard that they plan on canceling Animal Man, which really got me depressed because Animal Man is so good. Why would you cancel that? It just irks me when Danny Dito just wants to cancel comic book series that are so good, and you ask him why, and he gives us the excuse that nobody's buying them. That is bullshit. I'm sorry, that is bullshit. But anyway, with the cancellation of Animal Man, they're going to transport him into the Justice League of America, which, by the way, they're also going to change the name to Justice League Canada. So basically, Justice League is now Canadian. Great. What else is new? Really, at this point, any change they make doesn't worry me whatsoever. I also am curious to see where Forever Evil goes, because it's been said that Forever Evil is going to change, or this is the phrase of what Gref John said. The first phrase of the New 52 is drawing to a close, and as Forever Evil wraps up, a new phrase begins. One that will see the introduction and reintroduction of a lot of characters, concepts, and decidedly new center of the DC Universe. So basically, Forever Evil is going to shape the DC Universe once again. Though this time there's not going to be any reboots or any of that. Except for characters that are going to be reintroduced, but that's besides the point. We already know that. I am curious to see where the new the DC Universe is going to be after the events of Forever Evil, because it looks like something big is going to happen at the end of Forever Evil. So I'm really am curious about that. Another thing I am curious, or I actually am anticipated, is the Tiny Titans series that's going to make a comeback in April. For those of you that did not read or don't even know what Tiny Titans is, think of it as like a cartoon, very kiddish version of Teen Titans. I like Tiny Titans because it's almost like they bring in how do I say this? It actually is so difficult to explain. You might as well just search it up on Google. Or yeah, chances are when you search it up on Google, you're gonna get a better explanation than what I'm gonna say. So yeah, just search up Tiny Titans. You'll probably find it somewhere. I don't know. So yeah, I'm really anticipated for that. That was a series that I actually secretly liked, so I don't really talk about it a lot because not everybody knows about it nor even likes it. So yeah. What else am I anticipated? Lois Lane. They're gonna make a one-shot of Lois Lane. Why am I anticipated for that? Lois Lane. Lois Lane is a character where I wanted more development from her. To me, I feel like she's just wasted potential. Like, she's just there to be a love interest for Superman, and I feel like that is bad. That is very bad in my opinion, because she's such a great character. She's more than just a reporter. In fact, I would go as far as to say she is the best reporter of DC, of the DC universe. But she's just more than a reporter. She's just so hard to explain due to the fact that DC doesn't put that much spotlight on her. She's I don't know. Let's just say that she's something, but DC doesn't show it. That's the problem. So yeah, they're gonna make a one-shot on Lois Lane. They're also gonna make one out of Amanda Waller, who is, by the way, skinny. In case if people did not know about that, yeah, she went from fat to skinny. I wasn't really that pissed off or even happy about it. It was more of those meh changes. It was like they changed it, and I really didn't care. It's whatever. They're also going to make a one-shot out of Joker's daughter, which I feel like they need to explain a little bit more, because Joker's daughter from Villains Month, or that issue from Villains Month, was one of the most worst. In fact, it was the worst Villains Month issue I have ever read out of all of them. And yeah, I did read all of them. Not in 1 month, but it was probably like somewhere around November. Yeah, I read all of the Villains Month issues, and she was the worst. So I feel like this one-shot might bring some justice into her and kind of explain who she is and where she fits in the DC universe, because I feel like the Joker's daughter is just there to be there. Don't you know, like, you have one of those characters that they're just there to be there. In fact, there is a phrase that explains who she is, and it's called a red shirt. For those of you that do not know what a red shirt is, in the movies and television series of Star Trek, yes, I'm going to talk a little bit about Star Trek, but I'm just trying to explain what a red shirt is. A red shirt in Star Trek is basically a minor character that the writers from Star Trek use to show displays of massive death or a casualty, or basically an unimportant character. And that's who Joker's daughter is so far. She's just an unimportant character. If she were to die right now, it wouldn't even be that huge. In fact, DC would probably treat her as a civilian. Or the fans, to be exact. I'm not sure about DC, but the fans would treat her as like she just died. Or they'll probably treat her as a civilian dies. Nobody cares about the civilian. Well, some of them do, but let's be honest, not a lot of people really care about civilians in DC Comics due to the fact that they die constantly, so who really gives a shit? But yeah, they're going to treat Joker's daughter as a civilian, and I feel like she has huge potential due to the fact that she's the daughter of the Joker. Yes, she is the daughter of the Joker. I wish DC were to put more care into that character, because right now I don't give a fuck about her. So yeah, I can't wait to read those one-shots, especially Lois Lane and Joker's daughter, just so I can see where they go in the DC universe. Another thing I'm actually anticipated is the Young Justice live-action TV show, which I think DC announced, or it has been reported from New York. Sorry about that, I almost coughed. New York Comic-Con, which it's going to feature Superboy and Miss Martian. Those are the only two characters that they have said, or it has been reported. So if that is true, I don't mind watching it, because I already watched Arrow. Arrow is kind of good. I've watched Smallville. Smallville is freaking awesome. So, yeah, I can't wait to see those. Unless if it's going to turn out to be a Birds of Prey TV series, yeah, I'm not going to like it. Birds of Prey was pretty garbage. Actually, very garbage. Oh my god, it's bringing back bad memories. But anyway, what's another thing I'm anticipated? Shit. The introduction of Wally West and Donna Troy. A lot of people are saying that they should not bring back Wally West and Donna Troy to the shit fest of, you know, the DC or the New 52. But I know they're going to bring them back anyway. And they might as well, because if not, then they're going to be stuck in comic book limbo. And let's say if they don't bring them back for the next, 40 years, or not 40 years, let's not go that far, but let's say for the next 10 years, after those 10 years, they might bring them back. They might bring them to the New 52 universe 10 years later, and they probably might make them worse than when they could have been introduced 10 years ago. You get what I mean? They're going to introduce them anyway. They're probably going to be garbage. A lot of people are going to probably hate them. In fact, there was this rumor saying that Donna Troy is going to be the offspring of Superman and Wonder Woman. I hope that does not happen. I really hope, because I swear to God, that's going to get me to drop Superman and Wonder Woman, the comic book series. Because it's already bad enough that they're both going out. And they're treating them as, you know, like a celebrity couple. That's the way how DC is treating them. A celebrity couple. Not an actual couple or a meaningful couple. No, it's just a couple to show I can't believe I don't know how to say this word. Show how famous they are. That's the way how I'm gonna say it. They're just going out just to get more famous. That's the way how I see it. Actually, that's the way how famous couples kind of do, in a way. They don't show any meaningful character development from both sides. Actually, sometimes they do, but it's not enough to justify who Superman is or change who he is. Same thing with Wonder Woman. So basically, their romance is just nothing. In my opinion, it's just nothing. A lot of fans who like that pairing would probably disagree with me on that factor, but you know what? It's whatever. At this point, DC Comics is just treating pairings like it's fan fiction. They're just picking out random pairings, establishing it in DC Universe or DC New 52 Universe, and see what happens. See how much fans would like it, and if a lot of fans don't like it, the pairing's gonna get demolished. If fans actually do like it, the pairing might last for a while. Who knows? At this point, pairings to me is dead in DC Comics, so it's whatever. Last thing is Superwoman's baby. There has been a lot of rumors speculating who Superwoman's baby is. They said it's the offspring of Ultraman, it's the offspring of Owlman, or it's the offspring of the Hooded Prisoner. So we really don't know. We really don't know. So I can't wait to see the end of Forever Evil, because like I said before, it's going to end in a bang. So yeah, I actually took a lot of time answering this question. It's like I said, this question was actually important. So, well, not important, but a very good question. So yeah. Next question. What do you want to happen in the New 52? Batman, Justice League, Young Justice books, question mark. There's only three things I want happen. I want them to bring back Static Shock. Static Shock and Blue Beetle. I'm gonna count that as one thing. Static Shock and Blue Beetle. When they canceled Blue Beetle, I have to say that was one of the worst decision making. Yeah, it was one of the worst decision makings they've ever made. during that year. I'm not sure if it was this year or last year, but when the New 52 started, Blue Beetle had its own comic book series, and it lasted for a decent amount of time. A lot of people actually liked it, and when they canceled it, my God, they received a ton of shit from fans. So I can't wait, or I'm actually hoping they bring back Blue Beetle. Same thing with Static Shock, because Static Shock had his own comic book series. And then they take it down, and now Static Shock is stuck in comic book limbo. Nobody knows where he is. Apparently, they said that they're going to bring him back in Teen Titans, but I don't see him in Teen Titans. I don't see no hint that he's going to make a comeback or a return. So really, it's whatever. What else do I hope? They bring back Young Justice. Here's the thing with Young Justice, and I'm going to be real with you guys. I actually didn't like the fact that they mixed in Teen Titans with the Young Justice. I always thought of them as two separate teams. But I kind of gotten used to it, especially in Teen Titans Volume 3, because it looks like they're going to keep it that way, so really it was whatever. But I always wanted a Teen Titans series and a Young Justice series. Anybody from the Young Justice cast can go to Young Justice, while the Teen Titans stay in Teen Titans. Or, let's call it Titans. So yeah, I actually want DC Comics to make a series specifically for the Young Justice and another series specifically for the Teen Titans or Titans. Actually, I was hoping for that after the events of, of Infinite Crisis. I was hoping for that. In fact, when Titans was first introduced, I was happy because here we got the Titans, or every single member who was a part of the Teen Titans, now in a new group called Titans. It's kind of like, oh, they grew up past the point of teen, so now they're just dropping the word teen and calling themselves Titans. I like that. They should have kept going with that, but apparently it didn't last that long, not to mention a lot of people left. So the whole series, in my opinion, just flopped right after the 4th volume book, I believe. So yeah, I hope they bring that back. As for Teen Titans, since here we got Titans, the people who were a part of Teen Titans, they're now going to be in Titans, and Young Justice, whoever was a part of Young Justice, can be a part, or stays with Young Justice. What about Teen Titans? Maybe you can just develop a new team. I mean, it's that simple. They did it before. In fact, I think Volume 2, the new Teen Titans is not Volume 2. Volume 2 was a whole different team. And that team, every single member was never a part of the Teen Titans. Everybody was different. And I actually liked that idea that everybody was new. While the other people who grew past the teen point, they made their own team called Titans. I love that idea. But it didn't last that long because not a lot of people liked these characters, which was a shame. So I can see DC do that. We have Titans, then we have Teen Titans, which is a new team, and we have the Young Justice comic book series, which dwells into the Young Justice characters. You know, Cassie, Kid Flash, Superboy, or Connor Kent. Well, they're not going to do that due to the fact that Connor Kent is dead, so may he rest in peace. It's kind of a shame that he died, to be honest, but hey, he wasn't all that interesting anyway. Then we have Tim Drake, and maybe Aqualad. You know, those characters. I don't mind having those comic book series like that. In fact, I'll probably read all 3 of them. Hell. Yeah, I'll probably read all 3 of them, just for the sake of it. So, yeah. I actually do want that to happen. As for anything else, not really. I don't think I have any other thing I want to happen in the New 52. Because at this point, it's funny because I had a conversation about this with a friend of mine who was complaining that DC Comics, or at least comic books in general, is starting to turn into fan fiction. And I started laughing at first, because I thought this person was talking about pairings. Now, me and him, we take pairings a little bit seriously, but also not that seriously due to the fact that this is comics we're talking about. So when it comes to relationships, there's just it's a gamble. It's a gamble. It's either a gamble or how much fans are a fan of this pairing. That's all it takes nowadays. So I thought my friend was talking about that. But then I started thinking, and he was kind of right. Comics nowadays is now becoming fan fiction. If you actually go and read some fan fiction, there has been amazing stories. In fact, one of the biggest things seen in fan fiction is crossover, crossover, and crossover. What do we see in comics? Crossover, crossover, and crossover. I swear to God, I went to 16 different titles, and in each of those titles, there has been a Batman-related character or reference in there. I don't know why. Why is the necessity to shove Batman into my face? Why? Why do I need to know who Batman is? Or why do I need to know... Or actually, no, not why. Yeah, actually, why does Batman have to be related in this story? This has nothing to do with Batman. Why are you bringing him up? I mean, if I want to read specifically about Batman, I would go to the Batman series. Not only that, look at it this way. Batman has how many comic book series? I think like 8 already. I mean, let me see. We have Batman and Two-Face, Batman, Batman the Dark Knight, Batman Black and White, Batman Beyond, Batman and Superman. What else? Beware the Batman. Even though that has nothing to do with, you know, the current comic book Batman, but either way, that's still a Batman comic. Detective Comics. I can't think of any other one, but you get what I mean. There's so much Batman comics that it's like, just why? Why? I know who Batman is. Why are you making so much comic book series from the character? Especially when they just try to shove that shit in my face. I don't know. It's just annoying the shit out of me now. But you probably get what I mean. I've seen a lot of that happen in fanfiction. And surprise, surprise, DC is now allowing that shit. So I could understand why my friend mentioned that comics in general, but most specifically DC Comics is starting to become like fanfiction. And that's both scary, but at the same time interesting, because there are certain fan fictions that I read that I actually do want to happen in comic books. So to me, I find that kind of good. But then there are other fan fictions that I don't want to happen that might get implemented in comics. So who knows? It's funny because this video is actually as long as the previous one. So if you actually got to this or listened to this part, I applaud you, because I'm not sure people can actually listen to me for 28 minutes. Shit, I really applaud you guys for doing that. But anyway, this is Bizkit Rebellion. I've finally answered every other question, so after this video, I'm gonna straight up do some walkthroughs. So yeah, have a nice day. Also, Happy New Year in case you guys missed the previous video. So see you guys later. Bye.
Keep going now.